Now we're a bit backlit here, but I thought I'd see if I could shoot here just because it is such a beautiful background. Maybe I'll get some B-roll of the view of the Pacific Ocean here looking west in Kailua Kona. I'm Blythe Stevens. I am an MFA Bliss Catalyst and the creator of A Blythe Coach, where I help multi-passionate creatives take leaps of faith through dance education, yoga, mindful movement, and coaching. I just recently hosted for the first round a new workshop called Find Feedback, which is all about getting and receiving constructive and empowering feedback for specifically for dancers and choreographers, but really for all artists and creators. And it went well. At least I had fun, and I think the students got a lot of value out of it. Of course, I have a lot to learn for the upcoming, potentially hosting that workshop again, but just so many great and valuable tools that we can use to help us keep creating and keep making the work that we are meant to in the world. And in service to that, I thought I'd share here briefly some of the examples of feedback that I personally have received over time or have heard. Just a few examples. Of course, there's many, many more, but I had shared these with the participants of the workshop, and we were able to evaluate them and others that they have received on dancing, on performance, on choreography, and other creations, and evaluate, distinguish whether that feedback is factual or interpretation. And if it's interpretation, then is that empowering to us or disempowering? Can we take it on and really use it to grow our practice, to grow our art, or shall we let it roll off like water from a duck's back? And there are many tools that I shared in order to do that, but here are those pieces of feedback or input. Feeling intimidated by a subject, in this case philosophy, is a good sign. It means you take it seriously. This from my pre-major advisor at Whitman College about in this case, I was thinking about majoring in philosophy, but was very intimidated by it. And it was so encouraging to hear that that is a good sign that we do want to take the topics to heart, to take it seriously, to do the best we can. And it's very much true also of performance when we feel nervous or anxiety around sharing our work. It can be excitement and a good sign that we want to provide an amazing performance with our audience. You should go drive a truck and have babies. Let me know if you know who this was. At North Carolina School of the Arts, thankfully this particular piece of feedback was not directed at me personally, but was a classic example of disempowering feedback. To dancers, I laugh because it's so extremely discouraging and I think counterproductive. Some people might argue they feel motivated by such feedback, and that's fine. But there's another example. More concretely, when turning, in ballet, we're trying to do multiple turns or pirouettes. Count and 1, 2, rather than 1, 2. Just a little mental trick. Sometimes that mind game of, ooh, I'm counting up, oh my gosh, can psych us out. And so that method of counting can help us be more relaxed in turning, potentially. One idea. You've got to follow your heart. Isn't life always so exciting? Two pieces of advice from my mentor, Virginia Holte of West Hawai'i Dance Theatre and Academy. For balancing, picture the bubbles floating up in a soda bottle from the bottom to the top. So as we're rooting and grounding in dance, imagining that energy, those bubbles floating up, creating length and space and buoyancy and excellent balance. That from, I believe, Betsy Fisher at the University of Hawaii at Manoa in modern class. a review of a dance concert that I was a part of called Look Back, Move Forward. Waltz's Blue Green, a mere 33 years of age, features a statuesque duo, the excellent Mareva Minerbi and Blythe Stevens, dancing to Francis Poulenc's lyrical sonata for oboe and piano. Echoing each other's movements at first, with broad and full sweeps of arms and legs, they traverse the stage, sometimes in counterpoint, sometimes in unison. Whether together or apart, one feels they are united. Lovely example of specific imagery of the sweeping of the arms and the legs, especially important in critique in dance, is to be very specific and provide a target or to acknowledge what one as audience member saw. For jumps, think up, up, not just one up. This is paraphrased from by a teacher of mine from from Baryshnikov. Baryshnikov had amazing, lofty, flying jumps, and he said the secret was to think up, up. Do I have more? Ah, yes, another North Carolina School of the Arts teacher provided this feedback. Why? Why do you do this? Why? When we think that question much more deeply and think about our purpose, our motivation, our intention, it can be useful. But when we're simply asking when a student might be performing a technique incorrectly, we see something wrong, maybe asking why are you doing it wrong is not the most productive, not the most specific feedback to provide. But when one is at a loss, we say why? Why? And the last two I really enjoy because they reflect that we all do have such different perspectives on what we are observing. In this case, a fairly recent, actually it's a little bit older now, but anyway, in this case, a YouTube video that I shared. One response was, no classical training, moving shoulders, ugh, seemingly negative. Another response to the same video. This was absolutely fantastic. I'm subscribing now. I'm a fellow ballet teacher and Cicchetti Portabra enthusiast. Bravo. Seriously, this was brilliant. I love the story. It makes it even better. What examples of feedback do you personally have? What have you heard or read or taken in from others that has been factual or interpretation? What has been empowering or disempowering? Has fueled your practice and made you want to create more and grow and expand and share? What has made you pull back, not want to share, and not continue in that art form? Let me know for my benefit and for that of all of us here and for the students for the next time I share in that workshop. Thanks so much for being here and see you again soon.